What is going on? Savage here. Today we're going to be diving into some viewer submitted gameplay. We're going to be breaking down and analyzing a quad match, and I'm going to put you guys in this team situation and tell you guys how to work yourself out of a bad area, as well as how to avoid fights when they really don't favor you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, join the wolf pack today. Also leave a like on the video. Let's get this video to 1,000 likes. And as always, if you're tired of playing by yourself, make sure you join our Discord community. The link to that will be in the description below. That way you guys can utilize the looking for groups pages to your advantage. We will also be creating a looking for group page for Cold War when it does release, so be ready for that. Also, I have accepted a partnership offer over on Facebook, so make sure you guys follow me over there to catch the live streams. The link to that will also be in the description below. Anyway, guys, I firmly believe in learning from your mistakes and the mistakes of others. When you're in the gameplay and you're playing the game, your mind's going so fast, you can't really analyze what's happening and remember it or learn from those mistakes, right? So I like putting you guys in positions of other teams, other players. That way we can actually stop the film, break down what they're doing wrong, go really in depth with it, and hopefully you guys can retain that information for when you do go on the battlefield. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive into the video. All right, but we are playing quads, and quads is one of my favorite game types to play. I do believe this requires the most strategy and the most teamwork, because if you make one little mistake, you're gonna find yourself in a 1v4 or a 4v8 situation, because it's so easy to rotate yourself into a bad position and get yourself pinched by two different teams. But here we are going for a bounty right off the rip. Remember, if you guys are landing in, don't grab the bounty right away. You want to make sure people land on the ground before you grab the bounty. Otherwise, you could end up chasing a bounty that's still floating in the air, and it could go all the way across the map. All right, now normally I would say not to go here, especially since it's quads. There's really not going to be much loot for you guys to get, spread amongst 4 players. There's not many buildings and things like that. However, we do have a teammate who looks to have gone hangar, so maybe that's part of their plan, and I'm fine with it if it is. I definitely recommend splitting it into groups of 2 if you can, but if Orange happens to be goated, then he's fine doing what he's doing.
Gonna take that bounty.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh man.
All right, I do like the fact that you're looting fast, you're looting efficiently, you're not sitting here staring at the loot, sitting there holding it up to the gods, asking for forgiveness and things like that. You're just picking up the loot and you're rolling out. All right, we do have a bounty marked at hangars. Now, we're pushing, and we're kind of pushing by ourselves. Our teammates are, I don't know what our teammates are doing. So our teammates are kind of re-looting what we've already looted. There's really no reason for them to be there. Your main priority right now is to get your loadout and or hunt down the bounty. Hopefully, you guys have weapons. I'm not sure what Yellow's situation really is, because he did grab the chopper, so he may need something, and that's fine. But light blue needs to be with you, and so does blue. You 3 should be pushing together. Meanwhile, Yellow can do whatever he wants to do. That way you guys can push the bounty and have it kind of a more fair of a fight, a 3v4, so to speak. Because right now, if you were to push this bounty and these guys were close, you could get pinched into a 1v4 situation. There's one guy right there. So now we've alerted the enemy team that you are here, and by yourself, pop the reload, insta pop the plates. All right, both blues are actually rotating towards you right now, which is awesome. You're coming in from the right-hand side. Your teammates are coming in from the left-hand side, so y'all could essentially pinch the enemy. I love to see that. Be careful rounding this corner, because you're... All right, so when you're rounding the corner, the last thing you want to do is put your entire body out in the open. In a fight like this, if I was the enemy and I knew my teammate was going down and my teammate would have called out that you guys were pushing, I instantly, as this player here, would have realized in my head that either A, you guys are going to rotate around the right side of these buildings, or B, you guys will rotate around the left side of these buildings. So of course the enemy is going to be expecting us to come this way. So I don't like the fact that you put yourself out there pretty vulnerable. Let's rewind it real quick. You knew he was there. You're kind of trying to lean peek it. And then all of a sudden you just kind of face checked him, right? Just kind of peek the corner a little bit. ADS, not while you're plating. That way you could have instantly blitzed this guy down, saved your plates. I like the fact that you bailed out and you just waited from the round the corner. Now in this situation here, guys, if you know someone's holding an angle like we are right now, what's the best thing to do? You got to B-hop around the corner, right? You run, you bunny hop, you ADS, and you shoot the enemy. Very easy way to contest the position that we happen to be in right now. But unfortunately, the enemy just kept his boots on the ground. All right, so he's probably in the cubby. There he is. Weird. Absolutely weird. So in a situation like this, again, putting yourself in the enemy's position, if your teammate is pushing the right-hand side, like the last guy we just killed was, he should have been with him. He should have pushed with that teammate. That way it could have been a 2v1. He could have killed us. Then they could have instantly rotated to the other side of the compound and then 2v1 dark blue and then eventually 2v1 light blue. And they could have literally have wiped the squad just by picking us off one at a time. We're relatively close together, so I won't say that we're spread out. However, We are the only ones on this side of the compound. Light blue's still out in the open, and dark blue's just hugging this wall for whatever reason. He might be plating up. We're not sure of his situation, but we don't really have eyes on each other. So this is an easy opportunity for the enemy team to kind of pick us off one at a time. But unfortunately, the enemy did hide in a cubby because that's what people do. And he's probably gonna rush us at this point, right? It's not the play. You got to learn how to work buildings. You got to learn how to rotate compounds. So this guy here did not replay up. He came at us just head on, didn't give a shit. What I would have done if I was in that enemy's position, hiding in the cubby, right? I would have pushed across to this warehouse and utilized the bigger building to outwork and out-rotate us, right? He would have had a better shot at fighting us and picking us off one at a time than just running straight at us and allowing us to blaze him down. All right, it's not a team wipe, so we need to be ready for the next enemy. So real quickly, we have to put ourselves in the enemy's position. Where would we be? Well, luckily for us, he's already identified himself. He's shooting on top of this building, and that's exactly where I would have been. I would have been in that building, or I would have been in the hangar. I definitely recommend pushing that building right here. But if you're going to push it, make sure that you're pushing it together as a team. Also, recommendation, utilize the square map. Circle map is fine as long as you're in your big map a lot, right? I'm not one of those guys that, like, if you use the circle map, you're trash. Circle map's fine if that's what you prefer. But if you're gonna utilize the circle map, make sure you're in your big map a lot. I mean, checking it religiously like it's your job, because you want to be able to see what's going on around you.
Oh, on top.
All right, we have the guy identified on top. Do not push him one at a time, because he's going to be doing to us what I told you guys. And that's exactly what's happening. All right, light blue gets taken out. Blue is pushing up to him by himself. That's unfortunate. When it comes to squads, it really does take a lot of teamwork and learning how your teams play, right? You want to be in sync. You want to be on the same wavelength. You guys want to have the same ideas and execute them at the same time. If you guys would have pushed him 3v1, we wouldn't be in this position. Now, I'm not a huge fan of what we're doing right now. We're staying too tunneled on the enemy. We're thinking this guy's the only person on the map, and we're in hangars. Now, if you're in lobbies like I'm usually in, hangars is a pretty hot spot. And if you put yourself in the open like this and you're just backing away, you're vulnerable from everywhere. You're 360 degrees ready to get shit on. So I don't like the fact that we're staying super tunneled on this. You want to maintain your body next to cover, next to a wall, next to a vehicle, next to a building. You're better off fighting this guy inside than sitting here on the outside, because one, the enemy has the high ground on you, and two, you have no cover. He does. If you shoot at the enemy on the roof, guess what? He goes prone, he plates up, pops back up, and he shoots you. If he comes at you and shoots you, what are you going to do? Hopefully outshoot him, but if not, running's your only option. And in this game, you die too fast to be able to run away from the enemy. So you want to avoid backing yourselves away from the building. Now, I know what he had in his mind. He was sitting here thinking, I'm going to watch the rooftop while orange goes ahead and pushes him. And that's an okay, decent mindset. But again, if you're going to do that, if you're going to hold the angle and watch the roof, make sure you're by the hangar. Make sure you're sitting here next to cover. So if you do get shot at, you can duck back and replay it up, right? Don't ever try to challenge the enemy in the open if you can avoid it.
Probably the same team.
All right, these guys landed pretty close. You want to go ahead and push them.
Oh, he's inside.
You want to go ahead and push these enemies, especially since your two teammates are right on par with that call out. They're pushing them right now, and we're kind of just sitting back here relooting up what we already should have looted.
Behind you.
Remember, guys, you can wait to loot after the fight. You don't need this stuff right this second. You have plenty of plates to be able to survive it. Should your team have gotten wiped one at a time again, you'd be in the exact same position you were in earlier. Again, as a squad, y'all want to be almost sharing the same brain. If two of your guys push, y'all want to push with them. Now, for an advanced player who like to split in groups of two or solo quad, this, of course, is not for you. But as you guys are trying to improve and trying to get, 10 wins, 20 wins, 100 wins, 200 wins, whatever your goal may be, if you're playing quads or trios, you guys, again, want to stay with the same mindset as your team and push with your team. That way you can just essentially bulldoze through the enemy. And I'm going to be posting some gameplay of mine and my squad here later this week, showing you guys exactly what I mean. We literally just bulldoze one squad at a time because we're always together and we're always just flanking the enemy. We're always on the same mindset. But that's a developed habit you got to get from playing with the same guys over and over and over again. All right, in this position here, again, a lot of people like to get self-reses, and that's fine, but I personally would rather get a UAV. We all have our loadouts. We're all pretty fresh. I would definitely get a UAV and start hunting down some enemies. Not to mention, we probably should be dropping some plates, buying some plates, and dropping them for our teammates. So Blue, who's got $2,300, needs to be buying a stack of plates and spreading it amongst your team.
He's out. He's coming out.
All right, again, now we have enemies identified in front of us, and instead of running up to the boxes and using the boxes as cover and then engaging the fight, we're sitting back here kind of preparing for the fight. You don't ever want to fight in the open again, guys. Make sure you get yourself to cover. These guys are not even shooting at us yet, so we have plenty of time to move up to a wall. All right, so the enemies just bought somebody back, and here we are pushing up. And again, guys want to have the same mindset and the same plan. Y'all want to execute it somewhat in sync. I like the fact that yellow's holding the left-hand side. He's gonna be pushing in from the left-hand side. Meanwhile, us and dark blue are pushing over the fence, and now we're actually rotating to the right. So in this position, we're essentially pinching the enemy. We're coming in from the right. Blue is going in the middle, and orange is going in from left-hand side. So this is a great opportunity. Now, you definitely want to switch to your close range weapon. Beautiful. Make sure your scope's corrected too. Change your scope for sure. I don't like this scope normally, but it does have a variable on it, so you want to change it to the close range if you're utilizing that weapon. So looking at the circle, we have a lot of things we can do. Bounties is awesome, man. Again, if you guys are trying to improve, you want to push fights, you want to practice your gunplay, you want to practice out rotating enemies and getting fights won. So I always encourage you guys, whether you're a beginner, whether you're intermediate, to always grab bounties and keep improving yourself as a player. We also have a flag objective around. That's for a more slow passive gameplay, but if you do get all the recons, you do find out where all the circles are going to be at, and you can kind of pre-plan your rotation in your head of how you want to play the last circle. So recons are awesome as well, but in this position I would definitely go for the bounty because there's going to be a lot of people around us. And hopefully it'll link up on one of them. Again, with plating situation, just combine your money real quick together and buy some plates. You're missing two. Not a huge deal, not a huge necessity, because you'll probably find a satchel, but just a little recommendation. All right, I love the fact that y'all waited to shoot together. Your team synced it up, and you got the easy kill. This dude hopping around the rooftop like little bunny foo-foo. I guess his plan was to get the bounty. Fortunately for us, we were able to save it and get a kill.
Oh yeah, they're fighting. They're fighting each other. Two different teams in there.
All right, again, I would definitely recommend switching to the other scope. Oh shit. There's really no play for that one, guys. You run to a claymore. It is what it is. If I had to guess, this guy's probably on the second floor.
Somebody just got him, right?
Oh, he hit you with that drop shot, but you followed back with the exact same play and actually hit the headshots. Now, look, we're kind of getting confused. We're not really sure what's going on. We're a little flustered. Our comms are kind of giving right call outs, but we're forgetting about what we're calling out. Now, again, there's a team on Firehouse, second floor or the roof. We know there's a team there, and this position we're in now, they could look down and shoot on us and kill us. Not to mention the building behind us. Well, the building behind us has a window where they were also shooting into. So we know there's a team inside the building behind us, and we're essentially pinching ourselves by sitting between the two buildings. So I don't like this at all. I don't like the fact that we're turning our back on one of the buildings because they could be on the rooftop and they could easily shoot us. Now, hopefully we can call to safety and get a nice, safe res off instead of our teammates resing us in the open. That's exactly what's going to happen. And again, guys, make sure you allow your teammates to call to safety before you stick the res. My teammates a lot try to go for a res on me. No hate to them, but they try to res me in the open and end up dying. Allow your teammates to call to safety first before you stick the res. Now, again, we're super tunnel vision on everybody out here. And yes, we're in immediate danger, so we need to maintain this fight. However, I don't like the fact that Blue left this building and put himself out here because, again, we still have people in this building to worry about. And we still have people in that building to worry about. So now we're essentially fighting multiple teams at the same time. And again, that just comes with the confusion of fight. That just comes with the art of war, right? You guys start fighting one guy, you get shot by another, you get distracted, you get shot by another, you get distracted. It happens. Just remain focused on the task at hand. Fight the initial team, then rotate to the second one, then rotate to the third one. If you are in a position where you're being third party or fourth party, like this is a fourth party technically, don't run in the open like Blue did. You definitely don't want to do that. And we're kind of falling into the same thing. We're kind of falling right back into the same thing, putting ourselves out there. Luckily, we didn't get killed, but there's a lot of shit going on. If there's a lot of shit going on, take your time, breathe, get your bearing back, and clear the building that you're in. We're literally sitting inside fire station, and I know there's a team either above us on the second floor or on the roof. Okay, now we're pushing into this building. We're in what you call a shotgun meta. We have been for many seasons, right? Shotguns have run rampant, uncontested, and unbuffed for months. So you have to be very careful pushing them with a gun like this. I usually don't like pushing in buildings anymore with an MP5 when it comes to fighting shotguns, but I definitely wouldn't push in close with this gun, especially mid-game when people have their loadouts and they're probably gonna have the shotgun. Just got shot from the roof. We just got shot from the roof of fire station. We spent so much time in fire station. You definitely, again, you want to clear it. If you guys are going to occupy a building, you need to clear it before you leave that building. Otherwise, you run a risk of getting shot in the back when you leave that building. And that's exactly what happened to our dude, unfortunately. All right, but we won our gulag. We came back. We got our free loadout. We got our ghost class. Well, he already had his ghost class, but now we have everything we need. I'm not sure what his secondary weapon is. Hopefully, he picked up a better one than that basic gun he was using. I'm not sure yet. Grab the UAV. I love that. Hopefully your teammate does the same. I would definitely drop my $2,100 by the buy station and have your teammate buy one as well, so you guys can sit on 2 of it. Actually, you guys can sit on 3 UAVs if blue does the same thing. Sharing the wealth will always help, man. It will always help. Not to mention, as you're pushing across, because you're in the open, this is a time I would probably pop a UAV. Granted, beautiful, bro, beautiful. Granted, people do have ghosts, you need to be aware of that. But you guys want to make sure you're not putting yourself in a horrible position. We have a guy falling in. At I think he went car dealership. Yeah. So you have a whole team car dealership. The bounty got poached. No, the bounty moved out to apartments. Never mind. All right. So now that there's one guy on top of there, I would definitely go up there and try to shoot him in the back. Right. The reason I would focus on getting on top of this is because one, he's gonna have a great line of sight on my teammates. Right. So if we start shooting these guys right here and we start taking out their team, even if we get the down, this guy's just going to look off of the building and get one of us killed. So I would definitely rotate up here while this guy didn't even know we're here. And I would try to shoot him in the back because he's by himself. And then at that point, we can jump down and push the team. But the last thing you guys want to do is focus up on these guys and this guy peek over and get some easy kills. Granted, it might not work out like that if the guy on top of the roof is not a good player. But you don't want to run that risk. This guy actually looks like he's coming to our side now.
Hey, what about green?
All right, now that your teammates are shooting, this guy's definitely gonna peek, so you want to get ready for that bait.
I'm with you, Pillow. I'm with you.
He's up on that roof. Wait, jump off.
Not anymore. I got him.
Keep going now.
I don't know why. I have no idea why that enemy just jumped off the roof.
Oh shit!
This guy's just head clinching the shit out of that.
Hey,
I don't know why he didn't shoot us. I'm mind blown at that one. I have no idea why he didn't shoot us. What are these guys doing?
Watch that truck.
Homeboy in the tent. This is for you. Bro, your teammate just died right next to you. And you didn't once think to yourself, hey, maybe I should look that way. Maybe he might come to kill me too. No, you just sat there focused on the loot. And guess what? You died. Guys, you got to be aware of everything going on. If you hear your teammate go down, whatever you're doing, stop it and go help your teammate, man. He died looking at a javelin. Was it worth it, brother? Was it worth it? No. No, it was not.
Oh, you did? No.
Yo, I say we head up.
Oh yeah, somebody from Fuck You Mountain.
My man, he said someone from Fuck You Mountain. Bruh, I love it. I absolutely love it. We have the bounty coming to our right, standing right in the open. I love this. This is going to be easy kill.
About to pop daddy.
Now, again, we are on this hill, but you got to be careful from that rooftop. There might not be anybody on that rooftop, but because there's a helicopter up there, my alarms are going off big time right now.
Yo, why am I freezing?
Beautiful.
Behind.
Well, watch out. Another one to the right. To the right.
He's dead right here.
The ammo here. I found this if you need it.
Now we have plenty of time. We don't have to force the rotation yet. We still have the bounty over here, and none of these guys were instant, so we have plenty of time to kind of gather our thoughts, gather our bearing. The circle's not even going to start moving for another 2 minutes, so definitely hunt this bounty down and make this bitch pay for running away. Oh Jesus, here comes the juggernaut.
Hey, behind you.
Oh God, I hate the juggernauts, boys. I hate them.
He's in that building. He's in that little building right there.
Alright. We're pushing aggressive. We got these stuns.
I like that. Yeah, grab the stuns,
I'm
baby.
pretty sure he's in that building.
Let's go.
Or I could be tripping.
Watch somebody watch the outside. We gotta go up. He's
in here. He might be in here.
Let's go.
So, yeah, we gotta watch the storm.
When it comes to playing bounties and trying to pay attention to the ping, it is very confusing because the ping is delayed and it's never 100% accurate. It's usually around where the enemy's at. He might be in here, actually. It's usually around where the enemy's at. He might be laying prone on top of this.
Oh,
He's laying prone on top of the roof. Okay. Yeah, that too.
I'm on the ground safe. I can be res.
I'll grab it.
Quick.
Oh shit. No, don't crawl away. Don't crawl away, brother. No. Holy shit.
He's been running away from me.
Yo, Trevor said, I'm running away. Don't res me, bro. We got enemies in front of us. I love the fact that he marks them before he shoots. That's beautiful.
1 second. I think I can get a snipe if he stays still. Yeah, he's by himself. You guys see him, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna try to get the snipe if he stands still, and your teammates start blazing him down.
Yeah, boys, watch out from the back, the mountains in the back.
He's right
I
here.
got a precision.
He's right on that spot.
I see him.
Boom. Beautiful. Nice.
Yeah, killed him.
Nice. Now, I like the fact that you were being patient with your sniper shots. A lot of people, they try to hit the shots real quick and make it seem like they're a badass sniper. But guys, know your skill level. You always want to take your time going for those headshots. And the more you guys do it, the faster you'll become naturally. I started off really slow, sitting there, lining it up, getting the headshot. And then over time, I just developed the skill to instantly look right at them, ADS, and pull the trigger and get the headshot within a split second. So it will come with time. You just keep doing what you're doing. I love to see the fact that you're trying to wait for those patient snipes. All right, so we have the enemy team on top. We're on the lower ground. We need to reposition. We need to get out of this area and reposition because us being down here puts us very vulnerable to getting shot in the head.
I'm right beside you.
I don't like the fact that we're sitting down here.
Let's not push that fight because they got the high ground. Let's move back over this way.
My man, that's it. That's exactly it, bro. That's exactly it. You guys will get in positions a lot in this game where you're not going to be able to win the gunfight no matter how good you are. So when you're in a position like that, you need to learn when to relocate. And that's exactly what this team's doing. I love the fact that y'all did this, honestly. All right, now let's look at this final circle and see where to go. Unfortunately, when it comes to downtown or promenade or any areas that's clustered with buildings, the final circle is really just luck of the draw on who wins the game. Whoever's in the better position will win the match. And unfortunately, unlike our other games where we're rotating around military, rotating quarry, and we have wide open areas where we kind of navigate using trees and ridges and get a wider flank, we don't have that luxury with these in circles. So what you want to do is you want to play it building at a time, and you want to play somewhat passive aggressive. Now, when people look at this, they'll be like, Savage, I want this building. It's the highest building, which it is. This building has perfect advantage on everything. But this is a very hard building to push. There's 2 zip lines that go up to the rooftop, but good luck, they will kill you. There's 1 staircase that goes up and an elevator shaft that goes up, but again, good luck, they'll probably kill you. It's a winnable fight, but the odds are not in your favor. Not to mention, just because it's the best building in this circle right now doesn't mean it's the best spot to be in. Because it's on the edge of the circle, I would imagine the circle is probably going to rotate somewhere else. It's going to kick this building out. And then at that point, whoever's up here is going to have to jump off, float to safety, and they're going to be a vulnerable target. So I wouldn't risk pushing this building because it's safe right now. I would definitely get a better position like these buildings because it'll be easier to rotate from all of these buildings than it will be to rotate from here because of the wide open area and the fact that you're going to have to jump off the roof and parachute.
Running up here.
Down one.
And again, when it comes to building endings like this, you guys just play patiently, right? Don't force fights just to get kills. You want to focus on getting the win in these situations. Wide open endings, you can force fights all day because if you get it down, it's easy to get the cleanup. However, if you get it down right here, what's going to happen? They're going to get res, right? So you guys don't want to put yourself out there to get a pick and get a knock that you're not going to be able to execute. Unless you're being shot at and you're actually in immediate danger, then you can go for it. But if you're sitting here just waiting, I'd be playing just kind of scanning and making sure I'm safe more than I would be playing aggressive. If that makes sense. Also, I definitely don't ever recommend, nice headshot, but I never recommend scanning the area ADS. It ended up working out, but I definitely recommend always scanning outside of your scope. Now here they are. What did I say earlier, guys? This building, just because it was safe then doesn't mean it's going to be safe the entire game. Now they're going to have to get up. Now they're going to have to get up on the ledge, get knocked, and they're going to have to jump off and get safe. So all we have to do essentially is play this side of the roof. I wouldn't even worry about the team we're trying to look at. I would just be focused on this building right here. That way when they jump off, we can get some easy picks, right? Easy picks. Not to mention, we're pretty vulnerable to these guys. We don't want them to get a nice headshot on us. What is he doing, bro? Oh, that would have been beautiful if we would have hit him. I don't know why he's bunny hopping. That's actually pretty dumb. Don't do that. That's not a strategy. Well, look, I will tell you, I don't like the fact we're sitting here and we're just scoped in on it. You want to wait for the kills for sure. But again, get out of your scope and start moving around. Start crouching and going up, keeping your head moving instead of sitting still because you're putting yourself vulnerable to being shot by these guys. They still have a better position than you as far as a 1v1 gunfight. These guys are at a higher advantage, which means you see less of their head than they see of yours. So they're a smaller target for you than you are to them. They can see probably from here up. And all you can see, unfortunately, is this, right? Because of the height advantage, because of the way angles work. So again, you want to keep yourself moving and make it harder for the enemy to shoot you.
15 seconds to stay where you're at.
You can still keep your eyes on the enemy. Your enemy went down, or your teammate went down, and so did you. Unfortunately, you did start moving around at the end, so that was unfortunate. But make sure you're constantly moving. You don't want to give the enemy an opportunity to shoot you. Just because he downed us too. Just because he downed us, I definitely would keep one of my teammates up there trying to wait for those guys to jump off. Both of you guys bailing from that fight, no bueno. Well, actually, I think your teammate is up there still. Yeah, your teammate is up there, dude. All right, never mind. Cancel that. Teammate's still up there. We're good to go. My bad. I got a little overzealous.
Oh man.
All right, so right now, time is of the essence again. We want to go ahead and push the building next to us. I know there's guys on top of this roof. I know there is, and I know what you're thinking in your head. They already have the building. I'm not pushing it. I'm gonna stay out in the open. Push the buildings. You want to get that high ground. You want to get that advantage. It's gonna be very hard for you guys to fight with these little bitty buildings with buses and little buildings like this. It's gonna be very hard for you guys to fight without getting pushed from multiple angles. I love that though. I love that you're utilizing this little thing to peek through. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
On top of that red building, I'd be careful.
Right here.
But again, you still have all 4 of you guys up.
I stunned him.
Oh, nice. All right, again, you still have all 4 of you guys up. You want to get this building that's marked blue. You want to get that building. You want to get on that high ground. All right, now that the circle's rotated, though, planes have kind of changed. Planes have changed, Savage. All right, with that being said, I'd still get this building's rooftop. You still want to clear the guys off this building. There's still people on there. We want to go ahead and clear them out. We want to go ahead and kill them, because what's going to happen if we stay on the low ground? We're going to get pinched, right? These guys are going to come out and they're going to start shooting at us. And at the same time, these guys are going to be shooting at us as well. All right, there are 6 teams left in this little bitty circle. We know there's a team in this building right here. We know there's a team at the building to our right. We know there's a team at the other red roof building. So both red roof buildings have enemies there. The building to our left has enemies, and we clearly have enemies directly in front of us as well. So it's only still 5 teams total. So there's still 2 other teams out there. We have no idea where they're at. This is why I hate innings like this, because it's so clustered.
Oh, I downed one.
It's so clustered.
I downed that.
These guys are bailing off right in front of us. I don't know what he was doing, guys. I don't know what he was doing. You're better off going down staircases. Don't bail off the rooftop like that. Wow.
Dead.
Yep.
All right, so the guy that's in that building right here, if you look at the mini map, he's got to push out. He's dead regardless. This kid's dead. This guy right here, as long as you don't expose your body to him, you're safe from him, and he's going to die to other teams. I wouldn't even worry about him in this position. He's going to rotate out across the street to get safe. He's not going to come up this way because he sees all 4 of us staring at him. So in order to get that kill, we would have to force ourselves in a bad position to get a better angle on him, and I wouldn't worry about that. And the reason why is because we still have enemies over here. The one guy jumped off and died, but he wasn't an instant. There's still enemies in this building. How many? We don't know. Could be 1, could be 2, could be 3. But we want to make sure we're playing this building because they will be coming out and we will want to kill them when they do.
Gore from the doors. Be careful from this building.
All right, so we're sitting here. We're watching the building. Great job, but what's going to happen? Even though I said don't worry about the team to our right pushing us, we don't want to put our body vulnerable to get shot in the head. And that's exactly what's going to happen. We're sitting between 2 buildings. Our entire back is exposed to the guys that are actually pinged. Watch out, you know? They have a clear line of sight of us, and I don't like this at all. So again, I would definitely work my way from building to building. Don't ever stand in the open. Just be aware of your positioning and where you're at while you're in a gunfight. And keep... Oh, God. Yep, there it is. And rip. Rip.
Oh my God.
And that's just basic mistake. Again, in the heat of combat, it's very hard for everybody to be aware of that. And again, that comes with practice. It comes with time.
Yeah, they're in the building beside you guys.
Play the blood. Get over here to me.
All right, now you want to play the outside of the building. 2 of us are inside this building right now while blue is out here shooting at an enemy. You guys want to play the outside. You guys want to play the backside. That way these guys can't force themselves in one side and then the other, and then essentially, again, put yourself in a position to get pinched. I'm never a fan of putting yourself inside of a building and trying to outfight an in-game situation, because it's essentially a coffin. You guys are putting yourself in a box to die. There's multiple ways in this building. It's not really safe. Stuns, grenades, C4, rocket launchers, war machines, name it, shotguns. You guys are gonna get blown away. So I'd rather be playing the outside, watching the corners, watching the angles. That way I know if someone's coming, it's not gonna hit me by surprise. And as soon as they're around the corner, I can blow them away. All right, switch the weapon, go to the MB5. Now I wouldn't worry about getting execution. In game, you want to execute if they're vulnerable, but they're not vulnerable. He's already crawled away, and we only have 22 bullets in our gun, and I don't know where his teammates are. So I'm very, very scared for this guy. I wouldn't even worry about getting the execution. I'd rather have my ammunition to outplay his teammates, who are probably going to try to push in and get us while we're weakened. So we need to get our ammo popped, allow our teammate to crawl inside behind this door and bait his body. Don't try to go for the res right in the open, because he's going to get executed, and so will we. That's exactly what's going to happen. Fortunately, it's actually 2 different teams are shooting at each other, and that's exactly what happened. He saw your vulnerability. He decided to push in, and let's see how this plays out.
One's in the storm.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no. The guy in the storm is going to be able to get it. No way. No shot, bro. He's still over there. He's still shooting.
There's somebody running on the roof.
Rip.
That time. I got gas mask.
I have a gas.
Yo, what an animal.
Wait, no.
Bro, you gotta get him, bro. I gotta run. I
Oh
can't. I'm gonna die.
no.
I can't.
I'll run.
Listen, right behind me. Right behind me. I get.
What?
No, I'm too
Come on,
late.
boys.
To be honest, regardless of how that played out, should you guys have won that gunfight and should everything have gone flawlessly, because the circle rotated away from you guys over here, you would have died anyway. The team on this side would have had a clear line of sight on you guys. Y'all would have had very little cover running in the open. You might have been able to win the game. You might have been able to win the fights, but the odds definitely weren't your favor. But at the end of the day, I do think your circle luck ran out. And again, I think the team that was over here definitely had the vantage point just because it chose their side of the street. But Magic Pillow, thank you for sending me this gameplay, dude. I really had fun analyzing it. I really hope everybody learned some valuable lessons in this game. There are a lot of gunfights, a lot of rotations where we're kind of getting distracted and we're kind of doing a couple crazy things. I think the biggest problem I saw from you, Magic Pillow, was just putting yourself in the open. At the beginning, when we were by hangars, you were backing away from the building, just kind of tunnel vision, unaware of your surroundings. And again, it ended up working out, but you were very vulnerable. And that happened a couple times in this game. Just like when you died at the end, you put yourself vulnerable by exposing your back to the enemies across the street. And that's how you ended up dying. Just be a little bit more aware of where you're fighting your enemies. You want to always make sure you have some piece of cover next to you if you can. There are some situations where you're in the middle of running the open, you get shot at. It's just because you're trying to rotate. It's the only way to go. That's understandable. But if you're in a position to be able to hold cover, make sure you're holding that cover. But regardless though, y'all's comms were actually pretty on point. Y'all kept marking people, you utilized your pings, you did a lot of great things. That was actually pretty good teamwork. I just think the focus is a little off and just needs some fine tuning, but overall, you guys worked really well together. But I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, join the Wolf Pack today, leave a like on the video as well. Let's get this video to 1,000 likes and join us over on Facebook Gaming where you can catch the live streams daily. But until next time, guys, y'all have a good one and good luck in Warzone. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you check out one of these two videos over here and don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button over there. You have a good one, and until next time, keep on improving.